Yeah, because it went up when you talked.
No, well, that's because he changed the thing right as I started speaking, so sorry, yeah, like halfway through.
Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to the 26th episode of The Weave. We thought that we would play 30, but more or less, or 30 something, but this might be the last one. My name is Lucas. Today I'll be your Dungeon Master in Waterdeep as the party finds themselves in a bit of a pickle. So let's recap. Hello everyone. Let's recap what happened. Oh, can you ask you the action cast?
That's right.
Let's recap what happened in our eventful 25th session. The party find themselves in the Cola Towers searching for either the rune that keeps the force field up, Manchun's inner sanctum and astral vault to get the eye of the stone, or both, ideally. As they do, they find an old library and a teleportation circle that leads to Manchun's inner sanctum, apparently, or as per their intelligence. They're confronted by a spectator that somehow activates a creature made of books, scrolls, and parchment, a living spellbook. They defeat both foes and find some useful loot. They keep investigating the tower with little trouble, except for Ziraj falling down onto the bottom floor of the largest tower. Yorn at one point gets suspicious, and after apparently retreating back to his library, Javier shows up, coming up from the teleportation circle, saying that Yorn made a silent call to bring people to check out what was going on. Javier shows up, assuaging Yorn and giving her ring to Arion. She explained that if they disable the rune, the whole place will go on battle alert, so they need to have a striking ready. She wants not to go to Manchun's living quarter in the inner sanctum, for facing him will surely end up death. She was always great at giving advice, Javier. She explains there's a secret magical vault hidden in the library in the inner sanctum. She'll keep things quiet on this side, in the main towers, encouraging the party to go to infiltrate the sanctum. She also explains the rune powering the force field is in the top floor of the big tower, but there are defenses on the way there, including a flesh golem. She explains there's a secret door leading to that central room on the top floor and to the rune. She also says the room can be dispelled or destroyed with magical weapons, and she also warns that something was trapped within the rune, and it will come out if the rune is destroyed. She also explains how to get to the vault, navigating the inner sanctum, and how to precisely avoid going into Manchun's living quarters, although of course that proved to be unnecessary. She says there's a magical rune in the wall in the library that gives access to Manchun's astral vault, and there is a pattern to activate it, but she doesn't know what it is. The party then makes their way to the inner sanctum. Silas quickly makes his way to the library, past a strange room with a nice sarcophagus and what appears to be Manchun, giving his back to Silas. Meanwhile, the rest of the party back at the entrance are confronted by what appears to be a wizard of Thay, but she's wearing a black robe instead of the classic bread. Niall attempts to pull an ambitious deception involving 6 books, but it's soon made apparently the ruse is up. Arion quickly hides, and soon after, the masked Manchun figure that Silas had seen shows up in the foyer, welcoming Niall, Genhorn, Ziraj, and the Nimblewright. Manchun seems to know at least some of the party's exploits, and go into a classic big bad speech, offering them a chance to join the right side, explaining why he's the best thing since sliced bread, as he empowers the people of Waterdeep. Silas meanwhile goes past someone playing a lyre, and finally into the library, where he somehow figures out how to open the astral vault, getting everything inside, including some teleportation rings and the Eye of the Stone. As soon as that happens though, Manchun's clone reacts and combat breaks out. Spells are thrown around, enemies and allies fall, as Silas and Arion manage to jump back into the fray alongside Genhorn and Niall, and Javier also making an appearance, but soon after, the real Manchun shows up, and things aren't looking great. Somehow though, the whole party manages to make it out back to the main towers, with Silas still in possession of the stone. As they briefly debate how to get out, back in the tower, Manchun appears along with the body of a dying or dead Ziraj. Silas jumps out and flies away using his wound suit. Genhorn flies away after drinking a potion, summoning a bunch of black bears, Arion jumps back into a floor below, and then Genghorn sees Niall, the only one still there, stepping towards Manchun around the bears, grabbing his metal hand, kneeling on the floor, and he says, "You're perfect evidence." He hits the ground with his badge, and after a green flash of light, he teleports away along with Manchun and one of the black bears. And as far as you know, that's where we left off. So,
And he's fine.
Wait, you're not going to say the rest for our viewers?
well, that's where we left off, as we see the sadly empty chair of Niall with Winter Garden. First was Arion. Arion, you jumped. This is a bit loud. You jumped out, down into the floor below. You can't quite see. You heard Niall saying you're perfect evidence. You saw the light that you will recognize as because of the rooms lit up, and not only you've used teleportation circles many times, you just had used one. So you recognize of some kind of teleportation magic, probably the way that the flash kind of like follow a circular pattern.
3 bears now.
And you hear bears.
3,
Yeah.
not 4.
No. Maybe, I don't know, what's your passive perception to know that there
It's
are?
like 17, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I would say that suddenly you would hear one of the bears going silent, let's say. Oops. And also my thing falling. And that's the last thing. So, yeah, I know, it's just the tables are not. What do we do?
I'm going to continue running downstairs, and I'm going to try and make my way towards the other tower and up the other tower.
Okay, so you run downstairs.
As I'm running though, and as I get through the door, I'm going to use my ointment that I've got as well.
Your ointment,
My-
okay. Your of something. Yep, go ahead. So you put the ointment in your face. You kind of like spatter it all around.
So I get 13 hit points back.
13 hit points. It absorbs into your skin, and you feel. I don't know how do you take most of your damage? It was the kind of cold, and then.
That Thunderwave, I think, wasn't
Yeah. That took me back down to 1 again.
But you were twice close to nothing, so I don't know. I can't remember what was the second one.
it? Was the
No,
bad?
that was the
The bad did a Thunderwave just on everyone.
Oh yeah.
When he ran.
But so yeah, it's mostly like frostbite and rattling teeth.
Your hair's like.
So you're running. I'm going to say that you managed to run across the bridge all the way into.
Well, because if he's going across the bridge, I'd see him.
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, we're kind of like not necessarily initiative right now. So, but he acted first. So, move across the bridge. As you are flying away, you're the only one that saw exactly what happened with Niall grabbing the hand, saying, "You're perfect evidence," with like his weirdest confident smile, and then all 3 creatures disappeared.
Was the teleportation circle any different looking to the?
Yes.
It was visually different.
It wasn't. Also, it wasn't. It didn't match exactly the other one.
Okay.
It was slightly offset to the side, so it was a different kind of teleportation magic.
Okay.
And you're on your windset. You lost some altitude, so you only see like. But I'm gonna say that you also heard the same thing.
No, I think I just saw a flash because I rotated in the air, but I was quite far away at that point.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna very quickly hit the force field, so you have your.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do the medallion like with one.
Okay,
like,
so you're gonna
like-
keep trying to fly away.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will see Silos kind of activate the medallion and then with a bit of a blur going past the force field upside down. What are you doing?
Spell magic on the no.
I think it would go through the barrier.
On the barrier.
on the wingsuit. Arian,
I'll stop and look up.
where are you going? What? No, he's just well. I think he teleported away, but I don't know where. It looks different to the circle.
Then we have to get the seal.
Oh, what if he's gone back? Should we go? We should go help him.
I'm in no shape to help him right now. We have to get the seal, and then we can have others help him.
Do you have a ring for the circle?
I do.
Right, bears. Shut the bears to go down.
Okay, so the bears look up, look down because there's invisible stairs, so they're not like look at each other and jump down into the ledge leading to the.
Follow Arian and help him, protect him.
Right. So a bunch of black bears kind of like start falling like haphazardly like behind you into the entry. Yeah, basically.
When they got the invisible stairs, it's gonna be.
Yeah, because they don't know what's up, so they're like, boom, oh, dum, dum, they roll down the invisible stairs, and they will be slower than you, but they will try and follow. What do you do?
Okay. I'm going through the door and I'm going to start trying to make my way up.
Can
Okay.
I grab the ring off you? Is that?
As you go through
yeah.
the
I'll give him the ring first if he needs it.
as you go through the door, wait, what do you the ring?
The
I got a
teleportation.
teleportation ring, so
Okay, so
that's why I throw it to him.
you make a dexterity. You're thrown into someone flying out there in the darkness.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh,
The-
my finger.
you see the ring, yeah. Well, you
Whoa.
see the ring. The throw is perfect. You see the ring kind of like with the perfect balance, arc, speed. So you only have to put your hand up. Put your hand up,
That's
please.
the Lord
You
of the
guys have to
Rings
grab
bit
it.
where it goes.
I have to grab it. And it
19?
goes on his other hand.
19. Yeah, I'm gonna say you go and it slots into your ring. I was like, wow. But your fingers are quite like thick, so you only slot like the first knuckle.
We got it from a halfling, so I was wearing on the dinky already.
Yeah. Okay, so you keep running. When you reach that weird area with the old invisible ledge and whatnot, the door that leads to the library where Jorn was reading is slightly ajar. You see the flickering light of the fireplace there. But interestingly enough, you see what appears to be feet and the bottom end of a robe of a figure that is apparently lying on the ground.
Right.
So, you know, in
I don't know
a
what it
slight
is.
angle.
I'm not going to investigate. I'm just going to try and
Sure.
I'm going to slow my pace and try and sneak past.
Okay, you
With
slow your
that.
pace. As the bears arrive at the invisible, they are in the bridge and they're all kind of like, you know, kind of like anime, kind of like, they stop there, bumping against each other and they're like looking at you. And they back out.
We go on all fours again.
And then they go and jump because they don't know there is, and jump towards the ledge that is visible where you are. As you go upstairs.
Yeah, so yeah. So
Alright, what are you doing?
I'm going to go back through the teleportation. Well, I'm going to drag Zaresh's body off first, because his body's just lying there, is it?
Yep.
So drag his off the teleportation circle
Sure.
and go back through.
Okay, so you're gonna drive the body. What are you doing?
I am going to land.
Yeah, you land outside a certain distance because this was the top of the small tower, and you fly. What's your ratio of descent?
I think it's like 5 foot for every 30.
Yeah, so if you want, you can dive so to go faster and shorter. But if you want, you can glide a very long distance from the tower because all the houses around the Collar Towers are much shorter in the trades ward. So you can actually glide a certain distance and even land on a roof if you wish.
I'll glide towards the bowels of the earth.
Okay, definitely not getting there, it's too much.
Yeah,
but
in that
you,
sort of direction.
yeah, but in that sort of so north from where you are.
But when I land, I'll cast disguise.
Do you want to early land in a rooftop or in the street?
Let's say on a rooftop that's got like an alleyway that I could like climb down to be discreet.
Okay.
Cast disguise self on to look like a I don't know, like a lamplighter or something.
Yeah. Make a stealth check to see because how well kind of like you keep
19?
19. Okay. So basically, this is not. I mean, you can't stealth while on a windsuit, but you would see and avoid areas with more light and kind of like glide away and glide the other way, just so you're not like you don't trace like a perfect figure against like the moon or anything. So you're kind of like trying to, and we land on a rooftop a bit north from Collar Towers, not a massive distance, but a certain distance. And what's your passive perception?
Oh god. How do you work it out? My perception is +5, so 8 plus 5, so 13?
No, it's 10.
Oh, 15?
Okay. So I'm gonna say you don't, because when this happens, you are just jumping back through the window into the circle. But you, because you're flying north in Waterdeep, to your left and a bit ahead, so northwest from your position, suddenly you see a flash of light, and half a second later, the sound arrives. Massive explosion coming from an area near the base of Mount Waterdeep to the northwest from your position. Massive explosion.
Is that towards the... Because I know where the Blackstaff Tower is. Is that kind of in that
Yeah,
direction?
it's in that general direction. And you also see the reflection from the moonlight of the top of Mount Waterdeep. You hear the very distant scream of griffins. I'm gonna try and make it. And the reflection in the moonlight of the heavily adorned armor, the bronze armor of Griffin riders, as they go and dive. And it's just motes of light in the distance as they are reflected by moonlight, as we have now clear skies. And they're just diving towards Blackstaff Tower.
I guess I'll just sort of wait on the rooftop. No, I wouldn't. I'll climb down. I'll
Okay.
see this and I'll climb down to the alleyway, cast Sky Self to make myself look just like a normal person, and just start heading through the streets towards the bells.
Okay. The light dies out of whatever explosion is, and smoke, and the sound was strong, like a massive explosion happened there. You use your action, teleport, land back into Mansion's inner sanctum. As you do that, we go back to Arian for a second. Arian, you start running upstairs. You reach you reach the area with the ledge. That was where you first had your conversation with. That looked. It was like a laboratory. There were shattered glass covering the floor, large wooden trellis table knocked to the side, and there's a large empty cabinet dominating the back wall. And there are again stairs going up. So you're going to continue running.
Okay, so I'll wait for the bears.
Oh, you wait for the bears.
Can I make
then before I start?
like an intelligence check for the bears based on they can see this the powdered stuff we put on the first set of stairs?
Yeah, you feel one of the bears pop out from your concentration. Book. As soon as you arrive into the inner sanctum.
Okay.
But you still feel three. But you cannot control them anymore.
Yeah.
You gave them the orders and that's it.
No, I just mean because the first set of stairs that are invisible,
Yeah.
because they jump past the ledge, but the first set of stairs have like the ash.
Yeah. Make a. It will be force of will. Make a wisdom check for the bears.
14.
14.
They're very wise bears.
The bears kind of tentatively take two steps, but seeing between the ash and seeing Arian kind of jump in the air, they go and they start climbing up. But I'm gonna have dexterity checks for each bear because they might fall in the same way that Zirash fell.
Aaron is also doing it on all fours, so they should see my.
Yeah.
Yeah, do they get advantage for all fours?
Sure.
First one is 11.
That's fine. They need a 10.
15
Okay.
and 15.
Okay. All the bears make it to your ledge.
Okay. And
At
then
this
I'll
point,
start
sorry,
with
yeah, at this point, I will say, you hear, second, you hear coming from upstairs, a shout, keep it in, and suddenly spells like shooting out, and like primal roar, and there are like sounds of fighting coming from upstairs, and you just see flashes of light, like spells being shot, something is going up there. Yeah, that's all. Are you going up?
I gotta get my staff out and then go up on 3.
Yeah. Okay, so as you slowly, the bears come in behind you, and as you're about to like slowly go in there, you see coming essentially at the top of the invisible stairs, smashing against the wall, a halfling, and he goes, shoots something at something else that is beyond your sight, looks down and starts running up the invisible stairs. Look at you. Make an inside check. The bears. Starts running towards you and suddenly stops, seeing you there at the bottom of the stairs about to climb up with the black bears, and looks at you. What the fuck?
I say, I've got your back, brother.
Make a deception check.
What it is? I got +1 on that. 11.
11. Looks at you, looks back. Fuck it. Go help! That motherfucking Javier! She's a traitor! She released the Balgora! Go help all the apprentices! I'm gonna get help! I'm gonna get Yorn! And he kind of like runs past. What the fuck is with these bears? He just run past you. He runs past you and kind of like, take the bears! Genhol. You arrive at the teleportation circle. This whole area on the foyer is a smoldering ruin of bodies. Essentially, you see a body of Muki Prush, you see a body of the Red Wizard of Thay, but wearing a black robe. You see the body of Javier a bit further, the destroyed and totally decombobulated body of the Nimmerite, and the bard that was hit by a guiding bolt, also his lyre totally destroyed against him. It's just, there's no one else.
Well, listen out.
And then everything is, okay, make a perception check. You stay there kind of like...
I think it's 20 non-natural.
20 non-natural.
Yeah, 20 non-natural. Yeah.
Okay. Everything is eerily quiet.
I'm gonna grab the bodies of the 2 monks.
Okay. As you're stepping forward into the foyer itself, the one that had the seal,
Flying folds.
one of the masks kind of like... kind of like the very delayed falls to the ground, but that's all.
Quiet there otherwise. Is it just quiet otherwise?
It's just quiet otherwise. The swirling mist beyond the glass doesn't make a noise. It feels quiet.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the bodies of the monks. Zeresh is already on the other side.
So that's on the outside.
Yeah, I might as well get the. I mean, there's enough room for teleportation circle. I'll get the. I've got to get the evidence for Niall. This is my thought right now.
So you're gonna get what?
The 2 monk bodies
2 monks.
and the. Was she from the Theron Thay lady? Yeah, I'll just grab them, drag them onto the teleportation circle,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll quickly have a look around in where she came from.
Okay, so you look in the right direction. That's where also the mansion clone originally came from, and where Silas disappeared. You see a long hallway, a door open at the end, and at the end a room with a fireplace and some like really nice sofas and whatnot. And to the left, sorry, to the right, an opening, and that's all you see.
Oh no, sorry, I meant to the left where she came from.
Oh, sorry. So if you go towards the left, you will see there.
I got it in my.
Yeah, you see the double doors where the real Manchun came from.
I'll go back there.
Yeah.
That's what
So where she came from
sorry,
is
sorry.
is a simple room that kind of like circles to the left into this essentially seen window that looks into the chamber where you arrived from.
Okay.
So there is just a room that goes to the left and that. Yeah, exactly like that. But that also leads with another door on the opposite side. No, that top side.
Yeah.
Yep, there. To a 10 by 15 foot chamber there that connects with the double doors to the main foyer, where is exactly where Manchun was standing when he threw the lightning bolt. And that leads further, so in that direction, into a bigger room. The doors are also open into like a really big room.
Here.
Here. Yeah, that goes all the way. It's like 40 or something. Goes all the way down into something like that. And that one is appears to be some kind of big chamber. It's split into 2 levels with alabaster steps climbing 3 feet into a smaller raised platform overlooking the larger area, like kind of like a classic like king audience chamber. And this platform is bare except for 3 golden banners hanging on the back wall, each displaying the symbol of the Zentrim, a black winged snake biting an icon. The lower biting a coin. The lower part of the room contains a black marble table surrounded by high-backed wooden chairs, kind of like a table to sit around like in council. And the table stands out in stark contrast against the alabaster walls and floors. And you see there's no one here, but there's also another door that opens further into some kind of chamber that is also open, and it is it's not a big chamber. This one is 15 by 15. You don't need to draw it. And it appears to be some kind of sleeping barracks. You see 5 wooden beds, 3 sides for humans, 2 for halflings. And next to each bed there is a wooden chest, and there is further in a staircase, alabaster, to descending. We're gonna leave it there for a second, as you're gonna keep running to the bowels of the earth.
Yeah.
Okay, Arian. You heard that, and now, as this halfling that you will recognize as Manifold Cherryport shouts that and runs downstairs past the bears, mentioning Balgura.
Does Aaron know what that is?
Make a religion check.
That's a natural 1.
A natural 1. Oh, it's some kind of monster.
That's pretty good.
And they are apparently fighting something up there.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'm going to slowly start picking my way up. If I think I'm anywhere near the room where this thing is, I'm going to slow that right down to try and get a peek on what's happening in that room first. So I don't know if
So you're gonna pick.
because I'm still like 2 floors away from the top, right? So I'm going to peek around. So I'm coming up here where he was doing something. Is the thing on that floor?
Yes. So as soon as you get there, you see, essentially you pick the invisible stairs. You just put your eyes there. You see, like 3 feet from you, the mangled body, totally like smashed, kind of like Hulk smash, body of someone with a robe, kind of like the same apprentices that you took out on the streets when you were first scouting out this area.
Right.
And 2 more, still standing, fighting this like massive monkey-looking creature that has like this red and blue skin, and it has massive fists, and it's the two wizards. So there is a weird set of runes also on the floor, but these don't look like a teleportation circle. These are a different set of runes, but one section of those runes has been disturbed, like broken, and there are two of these road wizards still that are kind of like like shooting stuff. One has just now like, oh, I cannot hold it anymore, and the Bargura is like, oh. And there is another set of stairs that lead up, but they are kind of like struggling to contain this creature here.
We do know as well from the blueprint that this is apparently a summoning chamber.
Yes, and I think there is. Oh my god, still like 2 floors away from the top.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go up, and
So you're gonna try. So in order, because of look at the stairs. So you arrive from one side and you go the other. So you can attempt to time it. So the classic thing where the fight is moving about, and you can attempt to time it. So when they go like that way, you go and you make a run for it to try and avoid the Bargura and the wizards.
that's what I wanted. But are they not on the stairs going up?
No, they're in the floor.
Okay,
They're fighting in the floor.
so then yes, I'm gonna try and sneak
Okay,
past the front.
make this is stealth. It's not really stealth because they're gonna see you. You're just avoiding the bulk of the fight, not getting pulled into it. So it would be dexterity with proficiency. Yeah, roll dexterity with proficiency.
Okay, that's not very good. That's 11.
That's 11. Okay. So what happens is, as you run, one of the wizards is kind of like, I cannot hold it anymore. And the Bargura goes, kind of releases, runs toward that wizard and just smashes his skull into the wall. There's just gore and blood splatting everywhere. And the other wizard is like, fuck, retreats, shooting what appears to be magic missiles, like at the Bargura. And as it retreats, you kind of like, boom, it, with his back hits you. And then, help! Help! I don't have any more left! And you're kind of like, oh, fuck it. You're like pressed against the wall as he kind of like, what is it?
We need to go up.
Up! Okay! So you both go up as the Bargura turns around. Roar! And then the bears follow. And the bears go like, and the Bargura go, roar! Mash. The bears jump into the Bargura and they're gonna at least give you a few rounds, I guess.
It's like stripes all over you.
In the tent.
So you and the wizard run upstairs, and there you see. So this room is.
Hang on a minute, convince this wizard to take out the room.
Well, just if there's a flesh going on there, I want to have the scary things fight each other while
See-
I feet on the roof.
Well, appears to be some kind of workshop. The noises of the 3 bears engaging the Bargura are like very destructive, but you see some kind of workshop there. You see bits of clay, stone, bone, and metal littering the floor, covering a wooden table in the middle of the room. The floor creaks and tilts slightly when stepped on, and it can be seen to be detached from the walls. So it's not like it doesn't appear to be like very solid. There are 2 oversized iron clamps on opposite sides of the room, holding the floor in place, like massive iron clamps, like choosh. And that's why when you step, it tilts and moves because it's only 2 sides that are holding the floor in place. You realize, it is being held by the clamps. It's not like attached to the walls. Each of these rusty mechanisms is attached to an iron lever. There's a wooden staircase that once climbed 20 feet to the next level, but it has been partially collapsed. And the wizard looks at you. What now?
Shut the door, we keep going.
What did you get bears? Who do you work for?
I'll explain later. And then I'm going to try and
Make a
parkour up.
deception with advantage because the guy is like super rattled. So.
So that's a non-natural 20.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Closes the door. Wait. Are we coming up?
Follow me. And I'm going to try and parkour up the stairs.
Okay. Yeah. You go. No roll needed. You go. Clack, clack, clack. Jump in from the table. Grab the broken end of the top stairs and then climb onto it. And the wizard is like, "But I can't do that.
Quickly. And I'm going to go through the door at the top.
Okay, it kind of like stands on the table like, fuck, and it starts, yeah! And you can't quite get the broken bits of the stairs. As you climb, let's go back to Arion, to Genholm for a second. What do? You see the beds and the sets of the chairs,
Is it
the sets of
lit?
stairs leading downstairs.
Is it lit in here?
It is, it is lit by what appears to be the same thing as everything. The kind of like sconces with some kind of like continual flame.
Okay. Yeah, let's see what's down this.
So you start going
But
downstairs.
quietly,
Yeah.
flying down there.
Quietly flying. Make a stealth check.
Do I have to do the disadvantage on flying because surely the flying part of it negates the
Can
disadvantage?
see
No, but you are not proficient in flying. Like you're not an expert in flying.
Banging.
Well, there's a 1, so
Okay. So
banging against everything.
Yeah.
All my
Scraping your
stuff is-
shield.
So as you move about, you measure incorrectly, and the shield is scraping the ceiling of the stairs leading down, like fuck. So you float a bit lower, but you made a lot of noise. But as soon as you arrive here, you see the alabaster stairs like finishing and leading into this room, and across from the stairs stands a large bed with purple sheets.
It's a bear for a bit.
The only other piece of furniture is a table with legs carved to resemble winged serpents. And displayed on the table is a metal mask with an intimidating, like a tyrannical visage. And apart from this, there is nothing except for a door. Sorry, another set of stairs that lead ever more down. So there's a table, the mask, and the bed, and that's it.
Well, this mask could be good evidence for Nio, so I'll grab the mask.
Okay, you grab the mask, and are you gonna go down the other set of stairs? This is the final set of stairs that, as you realize, they end here. And you see a plush lavender carpet covering the floor. In one far corner of the room, a low table set between two purple couches. The table has a thin drawer built into it. In the other far corner, you see there is a black marble lectern. And on top of the lectern, there's a black leather-bound book open, like one page, like somewhere in the book. And next, so behind the lectern, between the lectern and the wall, a massive metal piece of armor, like perfectly, like standing there, but you don't see the classic like wooden supports that will hold the metal in place. It appears to just be there. It has a massive metal shield, a helmet with like like one of those shapes with the nose guard, 4 horns, and a terrible looking sword that you would imagine for a normal person that would be like a great sword. But this thing, this construct, this metal armor is holding it in one hand. And it's just standing there behind the lectern, not reacting to your presence, as far as you can tell. And, 1 second. Open that drawer. You see.
Smash it, smash it.
Sorry. Yeah. So there's the table. The
Do you have a picture of this thing that's there to see? To give me an idea. Does it look like something that's like something animated? Does it look like it's just?
well, I'm gonna say that it is obvious that that it is being held somehow magically because, for instance, between the metal boots that go all the way up the shin and the thigh, there is a bit of a space there where you would imagine where the knee goes, and you would imagine there would be some kind of like metal mesh joining both parts, but there is a gap. There's nothing there.
What it is, it's not like it's just like a metal suit of armor that's been held up like there decoratively or anything like it looks like it's a living.
I mean, it could
well,
be.
not living.
It
but
could be. You don't know. Make an account check with disadvantage.
14 or 15 because I got 1 intelligence.
15. Yeah. This doesn't. So you know what? Don't know what it is, but it doesn't look like a simple decorative. There is something about this thing. This appears to be some kind of construct.
Okay. And how close is it to the book?
So the room is about. It's not too big. It's about 20 feet by 20 feet. On one side, there's the lectern, and then the creature, like just behind the lectern, like right next to it. And then on the other side of the room, from where you go in, there is the table with the drawer and like writing implements.
Let's go to the drawer first.
So you walk towards the drawer.
Or float.
Okay, you float towards the drawer.
How long does fly last for?
It's an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's an hour. You
Fly down the stairs.
try to open the drawer.
Yeah.
It's locked.
How heavy is the cabinet that's attached to?
I mean, it's a big table. It's not. It is appears to be quite heavy. It's like thick wood with metal feet.
Silence. Come back to me. I think.
Okay. You keep going. Actually, as you keep going, you landed now. You disappear your windsuit and you're moving around the sea. You now see more Griffin cavalry, like diving towards, and then suddenly another green light. The sun comes a bit later, and then explosion in the air. And as soon as the explosion kind of like dissipates, 2 griffins in flames just falling out of the sky with the riders. Arian.
If only you had the griffin, you would be up there. Silas, on the front lines. I'm gonna keep running. I'm gonna
So the bears are like 1 floor below. This guy is apparently not able to follow you.
Yeah.
And you make all the way up the set of broken stairs to a hallway, which is where you are now.
Yep.
It is an unlit hallway containing, that goes slightly around, and there is 2 doors. There is in the door leading to the door leading to your left from where you are. So as you get
Is
in,
this the door?
to your left. No, that's not a door.
So I came in here, right?
Yes. So the door. Yeah, sorry. So the door opposite you.
The
Yeah.
left is outside.
That one. There is a flesh golem there. It's just standing still. And
But we did our best.
you see, make a perception check. Actually, what's your passive? You said
17.
17. You also notice there are So there are 1-inch diameter holes drilled into the walls at ankle height, all across this hallway leading to the flesh golem, set at regular intervals along the length of the passage. And make a perception check now.
It's a natural 19 plus 4 plus 3, so it's 3.
Okay. You notice also to your right, leading into the center, also you would have rolled that with advantage because Javier told you there was a secret door.
Still 26.
There
Oh,
is,
I didn't
there-
get-
you notice the outline of a secret door in the wall. You will have to now figure out how to open it.
Okay.
So there is
So
a.
I'm going to try and make my way to that door without putting my feet in front of any of these
Okay,
holes.
so you're trying to like.
Stepping over.
Yeah,
like,
stepping
visible
over.
lights.
Yeah, the flesh golem appears to be totally inanimated. Okay, so you make your way there. You're gonna try and figure out how this opens. Make an investigation check.
12.
12. You trace your fingers. Nothing. Nothing that you can see. How would this work? Sorry.
Kick it.
Yeah. You can't find a way to open it.
Is it stone? Okay, I'm gonna look at the golem and then I'm gonna grab my mace just to get some light.
Okay.
So I can. Is there anything else that I can see that's like weird shadows being cast on it, on the stone, or because I'm guessing I see cracks, but there's no paths for me to crack it.
Okay, so you start going with the thing. Okay, make
Yeah.
another investigation check. So you change the circumstances.
Is that 15?
15. So you do. Okay, so you do notice that as you pass the light there is a piece of stone that has a shadow kind of like protruding onto like the sides into the wall as opposed to in the middle of the door. And as you put your fingers there, you realize you can grab it.
I'm gonna try and slide it or push it.
Okay,
or-
slide it, nothing happens. You push it, and the door opens.
So the golem is still inanimate.
The golem doesn't appear to be reacting.
Okay. I'm gonna. If it's going up, then I'm gonna sneak under the door as fast as I
Okay.
can and start looking around with my light.
Yes, as soon as you open that door, you enter a central chamber. There is this appears to have been at one point some kind of bedroom, like very tiny. There is an oval canopy bed, veiled in cobwebs, sitting across from two very narrow bookshelves. The room smells like almost like a tomb. Like it hasn't been. There hasn't been anything done here for or living here for a long time. You see, bobbing in the middle of the room, choked with dust and cobwebs, a skull. It's just floating there. And it just turns and looks at you. The bookshelves appear to have many empty gaps. There's barely any books anymore. And that's it.
Kieran. Oh, sorry.
Can I see any runes? Is there any? The one that's supposed to be between the bookshelves or something. I seem to remember for some reason. If I look between the bookshelves, can I see something? Or was that somewhere else?
Sure. So you see, there is a gap between
Right.
the bookshelves.
I can't really see in there. Is the skull responding to me in any way right now? If I
It just
sway,
turn around, and it's bobbing there, and it's just looking at you.
if I sway to the side, is it?
Yeah, it follows with its gaze, but it's just weird. It's just not reacting a lot, and it's just it has cobwebs and dust kind of like floating from with
Keep
it.
a hold of my mace, and I'm going to take a step into the room. Like so I'm in there,
Okay.
nothing still. And I would try and sidestep around towards the bookshelves.
The bookshelves.
Things.
It turns around, still looking at you.
Do
There's,
I see anything on the wall? What are you going to say?
I was going to say there's not any noise from the floor below, like that guy's now being mauled, is he, by that?
So we'll get there in a second. I mean, you hear you hear the noise of the guy saying, you hear a yell, saying, "Look, I can't get back, I can't get up, but the demon went downstairs. It's destroying everything. They're gonna have my fucking neck. Come back here and help me."
Exactly where I want it. It's good.
Um,
Yeah, so I'm not looking at the wall.
Alright, so you're gonna do that.
So I still feel those bears in my head, or are they?
The what?
The bears.
The bears are all gone. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
God.
The bears are now all gone, like boop, 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 one after the next.
Do you, if you go between dimensions, would you immediately lose concentration on a spell that's in?
No, unless it says so.
Oh.
There were many questions about that, but yeah.
The
it's,
magic of the weave, bro.
Yeah.
Then so I start to drag this chest of drawers.
Okay. So you go.
Now, I am part giant, so
I know. As soon as you try and drag it, you realize it's bolted to the ground.
God damn it.
Maybe shortly afterwards because you're a giant.
Right. Well, this ain't going nowhere. I'm just going to tiptoe over to the book, like watching the. Is there any? What else was in the room? Was there any like sheets or anything?
No. Just just the table, the desk, with parchment and writing
That was a
implements.
bed on the floor
Yeah.
above.
Okay, I'm going to go back upstairs to the bed, get the sheet, and come back down.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and throw the sheet over the
Or the what?
whatever the construct is.
The suit of armor.
Yeah.
Okay, you throw it over. Nothing happens.
Okay. And then I'm going to grab the book.
You grab the book.
Yeah.
As soon as you grab the book, you hear a screech coming from the suit of armor. And the red glow that you notice through the sheet is coming from like the joints. And it goes. Roll initiative.
Does it have blinds?
But
Almost certainly.
can I preemptively have done something as a bonus action as my action was taking the book? Can I bonus action as well?
Bonus action what?
Drink a potion?
Okay, sure. So, so I'm gonna say that as soon as you get the book and you hear that, I will let you have a bonus action to. Fuck! Drink a potion.
Oh, actually, wait. Does the speed thing count as?
Okay. Let's see. This is happening. We're gonna have
Does it
again.
stack with your flying
No
speed?
concentration. Yeah, so no concentration.
Does it stack with your flying speed? Does it what it flying speed?
But yeah, it's just speed, isn't it? So.
What are you drinking? A potion of?
Haste.
Okay. Okay.
It's like your walking speed increases by.
This is fun. Let's see. What's your what's your
Oh yeah, sorry.
initiative?
Oh fuck, 6.
Huh?
6.
6. Okay. So when I take the first action here, as it happens, the let's see, what do you have? Yep. Okay.
Yep, blind sense. Yeah.
Blind side 60 feet.
It doesn't have eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And as the red light illuminates through the bed sheets, you can imagine, because it's covered by bed sheets, they look something like this.
Oh shit.
Wow, that sword is.
Really had to get that sheet over there.
So this thing, oh wow. Everyone is gonna be fighting the wrong things, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so everyone wants a death now, a cool death.
I just wanted some stew from a pub.
Yeah. So it's going to
Put that in
make
night tears. We
2
found.
attacks with its big weapon.
Disadvantage because of the sheet.
It has blind
I
sight.
can't see through a sheet. That's like
No,
seeing through
because
a wall.
with the shield, essentially. Okay, it's gonna use one attack because it's annoying. It's one of its attacks to like get the shit out essentially with the shield, and then looked at you and plonk you once.
No.
Oh, that's not great. That's only an 11 to hit.
No.
Okay, you go and just crashes onto the floor, creating a crack in the alabaster floor. It's your turn.
It's gonna go out. Manchun exists. Everyone's dead because of Manchun.
What are you
Okay.
doing?
This is going to be a
Does
bit of
Lucas
a-
know the potion you drank as
Who's
well?
that? Is that Jord?
Oh, sorry, do you want the...
What is he saying?
It's not Jordan, I think it's Hoko.
Oh, it's Hoggo. What is he saying? What are you doing going home?
Smooth
Okay.
start. Talk about how to split the party. Murray. Gengon.
Nice, okay. Sorry, give me 2 seconds, sorry. Yeah,
It was a potion of haste you drank, not healing. Sort of.
Oh, you drank a potion of haste.
Yeah.
It's a plus 2 AC.
The speed, so it gives you plus 2 AC.
Plus 2 AC, doubles my speed.
Double
and
your
I get
speed.
an extra action.
Yeah, which you can only use for attack, dash, or
Disengage.
something. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, it doubles my fly speed as well, doesn't it? Because we had this before. Because it's magical, so...
Sure.
Personally, I'd like to see you try and fly up a spiral staircase, but
Yeah.
Okay,
Super speed.
so I'm going to cast Heat Metal,
Sure.
disengage, and then fly away 120 feet.
No, wait. No, you can't do all three. Hit metal is an action.
Yeah, and then I
Disengage.
is my haste action,
Okay.
and then I'm flying at 100 because basically I'm 60 feet, doubled speed, haste.
Oh,
100
because
feet.
haste doubles your speed
Yeah.
naturally. Okay, it's not dash. Okay. Okay, so you disengage as you go. Whoop, what is it?
So choose such as a metal weapon or suit of armor.
What's that?
Within range, 2d8 fire damage on cast.
Is it not a save?
it's a console.
Any creature takes when they cast a spell until the spell ends, you can use your bonus action to return to roll damage. Creature is holding a weapon and takes damage from it. Creature must succeed a Constitution saving throw, but it can't because it's the suit of armor itself. It is metal, so it's no.
Yeah.
So
I just
2d8.
want to show something to Elliot. Elliot, look at this.
Is it resistant to fire?
Ah, okay, yeah.
As you try and hit the metal, there is some kind of like weird shimmering effect on its armor, and it has absolutely no effect.
Well, that's fine because I'm fine with that. Sorry. But it took 11 heat fire damage if it would have done, but it didn't, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, so you cast a spell, you disengage, and you start flying away. Okay, you start flying away around the
Spiral stack.
the spiral staircase. We're gonna go back to Arian. So you, Arian, are now
much easier.
in the this old musky bedroom / library, and this skull is just turning its head around, tracking your movement. What do you do?
I'm gonna inspect that wall that I wanted to replace between the bookcases.
Sure. Make a perception check.
That was the thing right there.
I don't remember it, and I have nothing
No,
written down.
I'm not sure
about
if I'm thinking about like where your thing was or something, but
it.
anyway,
That was in the library, but on a wall between bookshelves.
Yeah,
No.
maybe that was
You knew that there was a way to access the secret place where the room was, that involved the bookshelves. That was what Hagia said.
right. So I did just a 9.
9.
Mm.
Okay. You're inspecting the wall, but nothing about the wall. You do realize this is also a wall that should open, but nothing about it catches your eye as to how you would activate it.
Definitely can't see any runes or anything.
No.
Nothing like obvious.
There is this piece of wall, and there are the two bookshelves that curve a bit around the second room, and now the skull is just floating like right next to you, curiously
Is
looking at
he
you.
staying in the spot and just rotating?
Yeah, it's kind of like staying. Well, it's floated a bit,
Okay, is
It's
that-
kind
is
of like
that-
shoulder surfing.
Is moving as well. Okay. Is there anything interesting on the bookshelves that might lead me to something?
Make an investigation check.
Anything that uses like a different shader?
Wait a minute.
It's a 9.
It's a 9. You start going through them, and cobwebs and nothing that catches your eye about the books in the bookshelves. You just start removing books, like cobwebs and dust off them. But there are not that many of them. There are probably like 10 books left, but nothing that you're like, I don't know about this. Actually, well, make that with advantage. Sorry.
What was the investigation?
Yeah.
Worse.
Okay. Yeah, nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna try and move the bookcases. Like if I were to stand between them, move them apart from each other.
Okay. You try and like separate them. They appear to be like somehow bolted to the
It's
to
bolted.
the walls.
Damn these bowling people. Michael bloody Bolton.
I'm gonna inspect the. So you said the wall between the bookshelves. It's like it's.
Yeah. So the wall between the bookshelves should open. You have the 2 bookshelves, and then on the other side the the small bed. So there should be a way to open this wall between the bookshelves.
So just like pressing, like it's one of those cabinets that clicks shut.
What pressing wall?
It's just like pressing on the wall, just everywhere.
Pressing
just
on the wall, like
trying to feel any give.
make an investigation check.
5.
5. Nothing depresses. You look for the exact same thing that you activated for the other door. There are no pieces of stone that you can get your fingers on because the bookshelves are like almost flush against the borders of where the door would open. So you're like,
I'm gonna try just tapping it with my mace to see if it makes like a different sound to the rest of the wall.
there's just dust coming, and you see the skull kind of like floating, and it's now like floating at mid-height next to the bookshelves, next to like 3 books that are kind of like one right next to each
Can I
other.
do an insight check to see if he's like giving me a.
An insight check on a skull.
Yeah, he might be doing like trying to gesture in some way as much as a skull can, like look over here.
Okay, make an insight check with disadvantage because of the nature of a skull.
8.
8. I mean, you have no idea. You haven't dealt with floating skulls too much in your life. But it is floating there, right next to the bookshelves, next to 3 books that are like the spines are like one next to each other.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do the tilting of the books. It's like
Okay.
a secret passage.
As you do that,
He's doing
as you go there, the skull kind of like floats a bit up here and to the back and looks at you, and you go choop choop choop, and one of them you suddenly see there is a book that is titled. You look at the spine and it says "The Man from Damara," and you realize it's actually wooden that you somehow missed before, and it is painted to resemble a book. And as soon as you put it, you see that there is a wire attached at the end of it, and it goes, and the door opens. And the skull is just floating there.
And then the skull comes to life.
No, I'm expecting that's what's gonna happen. I'm unleashing the skull's body, maybe or something.
And the skull is just floating again, looking at you as the door opens. What do you do?
I say, thank you. And I'm gonna go over and look at what's behind this
Okay.
door.
The skull follows, by the way. His shoulders surfing you. As you step into
Shadow back hole. in.
an unlit hole, totally dark. The only light is the tiny. You realize as the skull enters, the skull suddenly goes. The fire eyes, just a tiny flame on each eye, lit up, and that's just barely a flicker of a candle, 2 candles, behind you. You have your mace. I don't know if you like.
Yeah, it's on. So
And it is choked with dust and cobwebs. This has not been open for a very long time. And you see, impossible to miss it, an elaborate rune inscribed in the back wall at the southernmost end of the hall. and it's very intricately carved, and it's just glowing with a faint, pale, like blue light. We're gonna go there in a second. Gengon.
Wow.
Gengon from flying, by flying. So you start flying. You notice that this creature starts following, and then leaps into the air and starts flying. So you go.
Slowly.
It's not flying at the same speed as you are. It's a bit slower, but it is following. What do you do?
I'm gonna keep going back. Double dash.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
360.
360, is it? Yeah. I can go 360.
Okay. In the smaller confines of the stairways, you're not gonna go as fast. You're gonna lose some speed, like difficult terrain, sort of. But you still have, with the haze, have more than enough to like outfly. So you're gonna go back to the
Teleportation circle, yeah.
Okay, you go back to the teleportation circle. You hear the creature like the metal groaning as it kind of like follows you, and you're gonna activate.
Yeah.
Okay, you activate the teleportation circle and you disappear. Arian.
There are rings by the teleportation circle if the armored suit wants one. I dropped a whole bunch.
His fingers are too thick.
It's like Sauron, like wearing with the armor. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go down to the. I'm gonna start walking down to the end of the hall. His
Mhm.
eyes don't get brighter the closer he gets to the thing. They like the intensity of his flaming eyes. It remains.
Yeah,
Constant.
they remain normal.
Okay, so I have to keep him away from this yet.
Yeah.
And then when I get close to it, I'm gonna look at it first. Just have a quick look, see if there's anything that I can think about it. Which I'm guessing is nothing.
You're like making a kind of check.
It's a rune.
It's a rune.
It's 11.
11. Yeah, it's a rune.
That's probably it. And then I'm gonna just grab my mace and then just start hammering it.
Okay, you go. Make an attack.
That's 21 to hit. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah,
it
roll
hits.
your damage.
6 points of damage.
Is it magical? Or isn't it?
Well, I
Presumably.
don't know if this one is because this is the Mace of Disruption. I don't know if
Yeah, it's magical.
because it's I don't know if it's magic to
It's
ignore.
a magical item.
Yeah,
so it's magical
it's
damage.
magical damage. It's magical damage.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, 6 points.
okay. You hit it and it goes kind of like some of it fizzles a bit, but still holding. But you felt like a vibration as you hit it. It did something.
I'm gonna keep hammering it.
Okay, before you keep hammering it, Arion, Genhorn, you come out. As soon as you're at the top of the tower, there are like the windows where like everyone jumped and you flew, and you now see very far away in the distance, like there's explosions in the distance. Very far away from where you are, but you do notice them in the distance as flashes of light in the middle of the night, kind of like fireworks in the distance. And you hear shouts and destruction and whatnot from across the bridge. It comes from like the bigger tower, like magical spells being thrown around and like a roaring voice. What appears to be some kind of super big bear or something like that is roaring around. What do you do?
So I'll quickly drag the bodies off the teleportation circle,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to jump out the window, go and fly and have a look, see what's happening.
So you wanna like float in the middle of the air between the two towers. So through one window you see that what appears to be like this reddish blue ape, massive, is fighting Yorn and the halfling, and now two like Zend thugs appear to be joining. and also a woman that she's only wearing like the lower part of her armor, and she just had the padding on her top, as if she couldn't like put the whole armor in as soon as this happened. But she has a great sword, and it's just like boom, boom, fighting. They're all in the area in the small ledge area, kind of like next to the library where Yorn is, the main entrance. And you just see them through the windows, kind of as they move inside. The whole tower kind of vibrates, and a piece of stone falls as the big Balgora kind of like hit the wall with the fist. And then at that point, the woman jumps in and cuts, and then the other one, the halfling, shouts, "Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down!" It's just like throwing spells at it.
Do I like any of these people? I'm just gonna fireball all of them. It's gonna feel like last fireball we did.
You're gonna fireball, okay.
Hello.
And then fly away. Really fast.
Well, your haste will run
Now
out.
that's locked in, I'll say that shortly.
Ah,
Only
yeah.
lasts a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, the haze is gone, but
I have to make a.
Is probably going to survive that fireball.
Sorry?
Yes.
One of them is going to survive that fireball. One of them is most likely immune to fire.
Get hold of something like that though.
Yeah, I already said it was you locked in. I didn't want to spoil it. But
No. I did think that, but
Just looks at you throughout the window. And then starts flying.
okay. Let's see, this is-
Smells the bears on.
like, if everyone's gonna die, I might as well use one magical item.
What else we got?
What else we got?
I'll just start shooting that gun up in the air.
people birds.
It's done blasting. Write notes to yourself. Use this.
okay, roll for me a new initiative, please.
Character.
16.
16. Good.
I don't have any more magic items.
So let's see.
I'll pour it out on the ground for all.
Manafort save the bar. What's the DC?
15.
15. The Bargra saved. Secret didn't save. And
It dispels magic on
your
you throughout the
didn't
window.
save. Alright, what's the damage?
Wait, can you dispel magic on a potion? Probably not, right?
Still magic.
Is it?
Yeah.
30.
Weird.
Yeah, you can.
30.
30. Alright, so we got.
Scary.
It's 8d6, right?
What?
Fireball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As you hit, the Balgra just that out of kind of like gets consumed by the flames and falls in a ball of flames into what appears to be the bottom floor where the Ziraj had fallen. Manafort kind of like jumps out of the way, and Sira and Yorn get hit heavily. They all like fall to, stumble backwards and blinded by the flames. But they all now see you floating out there in the middle of.
It's a Belger not immune to fire.
Yeah, you would think it would be. It's from hell, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he had resistance. Actually, that won't be enough to kill it then. The Balrog is still standing, but heavily burned.
That's good.
It's resistance, not immune. But yeah, still standing. And let's see.
So I'm just gonna fly, like, out as my turn, just I throw that and they fly up out of sight to the top of the tower, like hiding.
Just leave.
Sure.
Funny. Furbolg just told me to leave.
1 second.
This music's really confusing because it's like upbeat, but it's like,
Sounds like there's two bits of music going on at the same time.
yeah.
Don't know what.
Oh, there were. There were two pieces at the same time.
I love it.
It was because there were two fights happening.
Yeah, that it made sense.
Yeah, it's the two fights.
You versus them and Shane versus a wall.
Yeah. Oh,
And he's losing.
punching this wall. I'm winning.
Okay. So
For now.
let's see. It's gonna be Manfred's.
Wait, how
Turn.
many key do you have? No key. Oh.
I can do the homework.
And Manfred is going to look out the window and see you. So you
I
activate the
flew-
amulet, or
Sorry?
where are you flying?
Oh, I flew like up to the top of the tower onto the roof. I'm just like hovering above the roof.
Okay. When you cast a spell, you become they become aware of you. You can't just cast a spell and
I
hide.
didn't cast it, I threw a bead.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
An attack makes you.
Okay.
You can't just attack and like,
Oh,
oh no, I
yeah,
flew away.
yeah.
No one sees me. So they saw you essentially, and then you flew.
So I'm on the roof.
So straight up to the roof. Okay.
Just giggling.
You hear shouting. We're under attack! We're under attack! I'll get the one outside. And as you get to the roof, you see the halfling flying, flying and looking up, and seeing you up there because you couldn't hide. But he already used its action. And then inside, they're still fighting. Actually, let me see, because I think the Sidra just might kill.
I
Well, actually,
I was like, yeah, you got away. Manfred Cherry Pot's empty. Or Manfredo. As
Manfredo.
he's known.
Manfredo!
His enemies.
Okay.
I'm Afredo.
He will do some damage. There's still like some fighting from the inside. We're gonna get there in a second. Arian.
So as I'm hitting on it, I'll look over and see the skull still floating there. I'm going to grab my
The
staff.
skull, like,
Yeah,
it's just floating there.
so I'm going to have a staff in the other hand. Because I'm pensive about what's going on there. And I'm going to just keep hammering the wall.
Okay, you go. Make it 2 attacks.
Just to ask, there's no windows, is there, on these top parts of the tower?
No, no windows in the top tower.
22 to hit.
100 hit here.
22, yeah.
And then again, another 22. So 13 points of damage.
Okay, at this. Where am I? This is complicated. Too many things at the same time. Well, and suddenly a blast of arcane energy just surrounds you, almost as a shockwave, like making you stumble backwards. Not quite knocking you out. The skull kind of like bobs as if it's a wave, like a wave of water, kind of making it float. You also notice this suddenly, this wave, and even though the force field was practically translucent and perfectly, you could see perfectly through it, there is a blur, a moment of blur, and you realize now that this weird bubble that kept some of the elements outside, particularly the cold and the snow starts to fall onto your face, and the pop, almost the pop of, when you pop your ears, a sound reaches you easier, and in fact another explosion in the distance. And Manifold looks up. Oh fuck! And at that, Arian, you see.
Nothing, everything's fine.
The skull just like spinning around.
You see a weird creature.
It's a good guy.
Has the face of a toad. It's all but the body, whole red,
Where am I seeing this in front of me? Like, behind
and
the wall?
it just appears in front of the wall as soon as the rune is destroyed. And you are pushed back, and it kind of like enters this space. And it has horrible, vicious claws.
It's dolls.
And it looks at you. Roll initiative.
It's a grung, it's fine. Natural 20. It's 23.
Oh wow.
It's the same initiative as everyone else is in.
So Arian,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
23. Yeah, everyone is on the initiative now. And this guy,
Stick around.
let's
Something
see.
like being teleported to the future.
I'm out. I've got 23. That should be. Unless we're like halfway through the initiative.
So, top of the round, let's say, as this creature appears,
What's that? And that skull's not doing anything.
actually, I'm gonna roll for the skull.
Oh god.
Okay, so
It could be on your side.
this is complicated. Okay, Arion, you just went back, and this massive creature, well, it's quite big. The head is almost touching the stone ceiling. It just gargles at you.
Is it my go? Is it?
Here's your go.
Okay. I'm gonna stow the mace with the staff in my hand. I'm just gonna whack it between the eyes.
Whack it between the eyes.
I'm gonna,
Oh,
I'm
you've
gonna
got
activate it.
mobile, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna activate it and whack it between the eyes.
Okay, so to deal necrotic damage.
No.
Sure.
Well, hopefully heal. So that's a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
And 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage, so you heal 4.
No.
Okay. It is now.
Still my go.
Huh?
Still my go.
Oh, sorry.
Stay
Yeah, of
there.
course. You whack in the head. Whack in the head.
So I'm going to turn around, I'm going to run towards the skull, I'm going to smack it out of the way with the staff.
Smack the skull.
This is my second attack. That's 9.
9. You try to smack it away, and it bobs away. And as it bobs away, its eyes flare up, angry, and its jaw opens, and there is this greenish smoke that starts pouring from it in a very flame-schooly fashion.
Yes. And then I'm going to run as fast as I can. I'm going to use the home rule to get an extra point of key, and then I'm going to use that to step of the wind.
So you're gonna get combat exhaustion. You go. "Ugh!" Get a point of key. The rule for monks is that you can only do it up to your con modifier.
Which is 1.
You have con 1, so just the one
Yep.
time you can do it. You get 1 key point. Step of the wind and just bolt it. Step of the wind gives you disengage. No.
No, but I hit them both with my staff and I have the mobile feet. So
Oh,
both
you
can't-
hit them both. Okay. So basically, by making the skull like bob away, you avoided the attack of opportunity.
Yeah, you don't have to hit. It's only attack, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna move how many feet?
110.
So you're pulling again, Hulal. You're both super fast. And just we did the thing, bye.
We trigger stuff. And then we,
Not quite 360.
So you are gonna come out through the musty room into the hallway where the flesh golem is. To your right, 10 feet away from you. What do you do?
I'm going left. I'm going to
Left.
jump
Alright,
straight down the stairs.
yeah. You jump. You hear noises coming from downstairs, like bring it down. And as there's still some fighting going on there, and it's now Manfred's turn.
what? The guy that was fighting?
No, sorry. Yeah, you're right. It is now. It's now the Balgura's turn. The Balgura is gonna. I'm gonna abstract that away because, and then it's your turn, going home.
Okay. So I'm on top of the tower. This guy's just appeared. Like, I mean, he's not quite at my height because he had to.
No, he's down there. He only like flew out of the window and located you and flew up maybe 20 feet. You're still at some distance. I'm gonna say they're like 40 feet above him in the roof, but he's casting something. As suddenly the force field.
I hope you like flying snakes. 8 flying snakes.
So charismatic.
Yeah, it's like really big bad
Oh no, what's he going to
speech,
do?
but You, in the meantime, because this happens so fast,
no.
you're moving about, but you see a massive fight, another explosion, and you can almost see pieces of stone, red with heat, almost as if forged. If you drop like a piece of stone in the lava, and then just flying in the air, and then falling around the roofs in the nearby area in the distance. There's some kind of like intense magical battle going on, and the Griffon Riders have actually cleared, and the first that died kind of like got burned, and they are now kind of like circling the area but not approaching, as far as you can tell.
14 for the initiative for them.
14.
14. I don't know whether if that puts on that, because that'd be so good.
Snakes.
Because mum's 16, right?
14. Sure. Was it their decks? Well, doesn't matter. Okay, so you conjure them like. You're only 16, so yeah. Next is it's Manafruit's
You
turn.
moving or anything?
What?
You moving or you standing?
Well, how high up am I on the roof?
Well, total, it's I mean, it would be each floor is 20 feet.
Okay.
So how many floors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6, isn't it? 6 floors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 6 floors. So you are on top of the 6th floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 120 feet.
Fuck. Yeah. I mean, I thought about dispelling this thing, but I thought it was. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna go off the other side from him and then fly down 60 feet.
Okay.
Well, you wouldn't be able to fly down 60 feet, would you? Because you have to cross the tower.
Yeah.
He's already above it
I'm
then.
already above the tower.
Ah.
Okay. So you're gonna fly down on the opposite side. Okay.
And but I'm gonna put the snakes, like I'd say, kind of like close to him, but not too close that he could just fireball them all. Because I would think that through. But they're like spread out around him essentially. Yeah.
Okay. So they're not gonna be immediately attacking it.
Well, they're gonna be close enough that they can after his turn. But
Okay, but you yeah, spread out for the next turn. Okay, it's now its turn, and as soon as you like conjure the snake, like go boom, 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 kind of like in a circle, in a ring around him, and then you disappear. He is not stupid, and the towers. He essentially goes on a spiral around the tower, and sees you coming out of the spiral, sees you in the distance on the opposite side, and he's going to.
Think of that.
Yeah.
He is
How
going
would
to.
Oh, actually, sorry. One thing. Can I just quickly go back before he has his turn? I forgot.
No, your turn's done.
I had one thing I forgot to do. Sorry.
Your
What?
turn's done.
I forgot. I was gonna hidden step for my bonus action.
I'll see you go down behind it then.
Yeah, disappear. Sorry.
You have to say that before
I know.
the
I know,
turn
but
is-
I forgot.
Yeah, but you are saying all these things after something happened. Like same with the other
Yeah, okay.
armor. You drank the potion after I told you what happened when you touched the book. It's getting a bit. So
You didn't do it there.
he's going to. Let's see, what is this spell? I'm not familiar with this spell.
Why does he have a spell called Kill Genhorn?
No. He is going to. He doesn't have the spell magic.
Is that fine?
He's gonna look at you as it flies around. Start simple. Casting magic missiles at you. So that's
But at what level?
11 points of force damage.
Okay.
Boom, 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 as it hits you. And it's just snarling. You fucker, who are you? You're dead!
How many hits was that?
11.
No, I mean how many like separate?
3.
3.
It's one concentration check.
Ooh, just yeah.
Otherwise, is because of a reason. Otherwise, it's called the player killer because of death saving throws.
Yeah. Okay.
If you are down, a magic missile will insta kill you. So I rule. There is a bit of a controversy there on the internet because Crawford said no, it's one source of damage, and then he went back and says no, it's 3 missiles, it's 3 different sources of damages, and everyone was like, wow, that makes the spell insane.
Yeah.
So no, I think fair. All hit also because the wording of the spell say all hit at the same time, so it's one source of damage.
The barrier goes down, and this guy casts magic missile at an intruder. Some general.
The
You just wanna-
he has a weird spell list. The Flame Skull.
The snakes.
No, the Flame Skull go first.
Oh wow.
The Flame Skull.
That's so close together.
Can't possibly get 3 gold.
The Flame Skull will fly. Where are you? Will fly behind you. So he flies 40 feet, and you move
110.
110. You jump down onto the thing. I'm gonna say that as you run down the stairs, it barely sees you in the distance, and it shoots the 2 fire rays from its eyes. So
That's where it hit.
it's to hit. Wow, that is 1 hit because I roll 19, and the other one rolls a 3. So 1 hit, 1 miss, and you take 9 points of fire damage. The other ray of fire kind of like hitting the wall next to you, and one hitting you in the back as it just floats down there, like looking from the stairs you run up, but it's apparently not chasing. But is the snake's turn now. So because they were in a ring and he moved away, I'm gonna say only half the snakes can get to him. The ones that were on the side of the ring that she flew through, essentially.
The other ones will dash to him and just sit next to him.
Okay.
But the ones that are there, I'll get them to like fly by, so they'll still kind of keep a bit of distance. So I'll end up with like 4 next to him that don't attack him before they fly by, I guess. No, they probably can't actually fly
they
by.
wouldn't be able
They'll all
to-
just end
no,
up
they
8
wouldn't.
next to him then in that case.
Go.
So 17, 14,
17 and 14. Yes.
both hit.
No, 1 misses.
1 misses, okay. And that's going to be a 23 and 17 again. So 3 hits.
Okay.
D4 then. So 3 hits. Sorry. 9, D4, 6,
18.
18, and then 1 more. 19. So 19 poison damage.
Is a what con save?
No con save, just poison damage.
There's no con save.
No con save.
You sure?
Yeah.
They usually have.
But yeah, the flying snakes apparently don't have a con save.
It
Oh, yeah.
doesn't have a regular damage. but
Yeah, it's just
yeah,
it's
and,
just
and
this.
also 3 points of piercing as well. So 22 total.
22 total. Okay.
And he's now got the snakes around.
Yeah. It is now the. So Sidra is gonna like kill the bugger this turn, and it is now Yorn's turn. And Yorn, where are you, Yorn? You, as you run down, up from there, from the invisible stairs, you see down where the... No, you're still 1
There's a door in the way right now.
Yeah, yeah, there's another floor until you get to there.
In your 120 feet, you would have made it across that floor, though. It's not big enough to take that long.
Yeah, I think I possibly could have got away, but then we'd have to like take back the fire range. 110.
Uh,
I didn't measure how far he
Yorn, from where they're fighting, runs out into the bridge, and from the bridge, as you you see Manafrot, and you kind of like spiraling with Manafrot, leaving a trail of snails, kind of like flying behind it, kind of like the creatures in the Matrix, as as he flies around, sees you up there, and you see Yorn. He has a glaive and a short bow, and he kind of like leaves the glaive in the bridge, grabs the short bow and goes. I never said he was a custom.
I thought he was a wizard. It's because he had glasses on.
Actually,
Twist on twist.
oh wait,
He is a wizard.
no, he's a dark paladin,
Oh.
but he has the spell magic.
Oh, fucking hell. Well, I'm dead.
I need you. No, it's level 3 against fly.
Which is level 2.
No, 3.
Don't play.
There's no roll.
He's gonna dispel you.
Well, I'm dead.
You flew down. You flew around and then down.
So just off, it's like 60 feet down.
Yeah, you're 60 feet down. So that's that's gonna be
Too much.
1, 3, 6. So wait, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So 9,
So 2
12, 15, d6.
That can't even roll it.
You have what left?
15. I think
15 hit points. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it could insta kill you, so you gotta work out the damage.
What size is hiding nearby?
Still on that rooftop.
11.
22 I have left. So if you do more than 30, no, 55.
11 plus 12.
23.
How fast do you
Plus
fall
7. 11 plus 12 plus 7.
That's total.
Yeah, that's all. So that's.
Oh, I'm down, but I'm not dead then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So you're like 30 something. Yeah, you're down to 0. As you like.
This is a terrible roll.
Yeah, no, the first 2 ones are not bad. They're because I rolled 3. Oh no, wait, I rolled 12 dice. I need to roll more dice. I rolled 9 dice.
That's almost less than
Yeah,
a 5.
no, yeah, sorry. Plus 13.
So what's that total? 30,
So it was 12 plus 11.
Plus 7.
Plus 7.
13.
So that's 23, 30. Plus 13, so that's 43. And 3 more.
Plus 11, plus 7.
Plus 10. So 53.
Oh shit! So close. Because it's your what you're on now plus your max HP, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to, yeah. So you just under because it'd be 55.
Okay. So you splatter against the ground. As the black, Yorn the Terror. Just so you know, the spell magic, I didn't make it up.
No.
He's a black god. Oops. And it's now the red slad turn. And the red slad is going to. Where are you?
That's not going to be able to run as fast
The red
as you.
slad
Excellent teleport.
doesn't have anything movement related. It's gonna, yeah, like essentially chase you, but dash in. It moves 60 feet, so appears essentially at the top of the stairs where you are a bit further away. You see what are you doing?
If it's my turn, I'm gonna start running down some stairs.
Okay,
Actually, we're gonna jump down off the side of the stairs to get
yeah.
down.
As soon as you jump down into the next set of flights of stairs, you see there Sidra. There are a couple of dead thugs and the apprentice that was left that couldn't climb the tower. And then you see there Sidra Romer, which is and she has what she has. She has a long sword. She was fighting. She has. She's missing the top end of her splint armor. She only has the padding essentially, and she's looking about. Jorn! And Jorn yells, "I got one! Manafort is in trouble." Oh no, the snakes are gone. Yeah, I got one. What do you do?
I'm gonna. Well, if I can see them, I'm gonna try and jump down and get past them and just run as fast as I can.
So past them how?
Just going. Well, I don't know where the stairs in relation to each other. So if I'm here, if I jumped down these stairs,
So you're there and you see downstairs into the ledge where they were fighting, which is the bigger area there connected to the bridge.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump down each of the floors individually. I don't know how much movement that's gonna use. I should be able to do it without getting too
I'll
close
make an
to it.
acrobatics check to see how essentially how you can like use less movement.
Natural 20 plus 6.
Sure. So it counts half moving down. So it's instead of being 20 feet, it cuts it. Moving each floor costs 10 for you.
Right, so I'm gonna go all the way down to this floor.
And you're now right next to Sidra that sees you appearing with her sword. There's another one here, Jorn!
Can I get towards the door, or towards a window or anything without getting too close to her?
Impossible because of that. Remember that ledge is so small. You're gonna get an opportunity to attack.
Okay, I'm going to then. I'm gonna risk it. So I'm gonna just dash straight out the window, and then I'm gonna run as fast as I can towards the city whilst.
Okay, so you're trying to escape in random direction. Okay. Let's see what happens with the opportunity attack. As she goes phew, and tries to like long sword you, you see the body of the Balgorad like burning in the bottom floor where Ziraj had first fell. Well, not burning, just cut down. So it's a +5 to hit, and she rolled 16.
17.
No, but +5 to hit.
So 21.
Finally, my
So
hammer
it's
plus
21. It's 21.
Seriously, get like 3.
And she's, I told you, she's wearing it in both hands because she doesn't have her, it's a long sword, so it's 1d10 plus 3. So 1d10 plus 3, it's 4 plus 3, 7 points of slashing damage. Shunk! She cuts you as you go.
And I run. So I keep in mind where I'm hearing voices and going for line
Yeah,
of
okay,
sight.
so as you see to your left the bridge and Jorn there, I got one. Sidra kind of like catch you. You jump through the window, and as you do, you see the body of Genghorn like lying near the bridge, but underneath it, on the ground, kind of like there, a trickle of blood. It doesn't look good. And you land. You have like slow fall, no? So 20 feet is.
So 25 feet is safety.
Yeah, okay, so you're fine because it's only 20. Poof, you land on the ground and you see the body of Genghorn there. What do you do?
There's nothing I can do about that, so I'm just going to have to run.
Okay.
So I can continue to sprint 70 feet.
Sure. It's impossible for them to catch you.
Wait, it wouldn't be 70 because you fell for a bit as
Yeah,
well.
but you said it was 10 foot per floor, so I did like 4 floors. So 100.
Oh no, I mean out the window.
That's one of the floors I count. So that was the last.
No,
floor.
that will do another one for that one because you're acrobating through a window, so it's not like
So that's 15.
15. That will cost you 15 feet instead of 20.
Okay, so 65 feet.
Okay. You're still running super fast. They're not gonna get you, but they might get spells out before you, because it's impossible for them to.
That's why I'm going like.
Okay.
line of sight.
Sure. We'll see what they do. Although there's a red slab now came here.
How
Okay.
archery works.
So the Balgora is dead. It's now Genhorn's turn. Please roll a death saving throw, please.
Well, the only person that could possibly catch him is Manafort because he's.
4. 1 down. Manfred was surrounded by snakes. They disappear. Looks down onto the bridge to Jorn. Well down, and then sees Arion dropping down the window and flying. Fuck! What is escaping? So he's gonna fly 60 feet towards where you are, but he was 80 feet up. So he's gonna fly a diagonal, and then you run 65 away.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be about 70 from you, and let's see what, because he has.
55 away. Because you used 15 to drop, you had 70 left.
No, I had 70 if it was 10 feet. But then I.
Ah, okay. Yes, sorry.
But I was trying to
misunderstand
line of sight it because I'm an elf. I'm an archer.
Yeah.
By nature. I know that you don't stand in the line of an archer because they're going to shoot in the back.
that's
Sure,
what I was
but hiding is a bonus action.
Well, it's running this direction.
But there's
Yeah.
nothing
Like,
around the tower though either.
But there's a tower.
Yeah, no. You
Oh, I
can
see.
you can break line of sight with Yorn very easily. Not that easily with Manafort because Manafort can spiral fly around the thing. So Manafort will fly.
What's the range of a short?
Will fly
60, 120.
and shout, "You should surrender, my friend." Make a wisdom saving throw.
That's the good one.
16.
Yeah, you feel the need to surrender trying to overcome you, but you dig deep into your monk trainer and you're like, maybe I shouldn't. And you keep running. And it is now Flame's Skull turn. No, doesn't matter. Snake's turn. Doesn't matter. Sidra's turn. And Sidra shouts, can you hear them? Probably not. You don't know what's going on there.
Just something to consider as well. The slab wouldn't know about invisible stairs, would it?
We'll see.
So the blinds
The you hear shouts, but because you run so far away, you can't quite make out except for Yorn, that is kind of from the bridge, is kind of yelling, "The fill is out! The fill is out!" And then the gurgling noise of the slab also like trying to like barreling down. Things is a bit chaotic. They just there with a Balgura, but apparently they're gonna deal with slab very soon. I'm gonna give you brief summarized chase rules and give you a stealth check to see if you can like hide, because it's Manafort the only one that can see you.
14.
14. He has
I'm not still the best.
11 passive perception. Wow, he's useless. This guy is literally useless. He's a cook.
Cooks a good stew, yeah. That's that.
Okay, so you hear the shouts. I fucking lost him. I lost him, and then shouts back like. Apparently they're dealing with shit. Genhorn.
Oh, natural 20.
It's gonna be a 1. It's 11. Ooh.
Ooh.
So,
No one, because of what the situation is, no one will come in to do anything for or against you. So keep rolling and see what happens.
11 again.
So 2 to 1.
20!
20!
The last one!
Okay, that's ridiculous. You go, and as you look up, you see the bridge, and you see Yorn there, glaive in hand, fighting a demon creature from hell with a massive red slat. On the opposite side of the bridge, Sidra and Renair kind of like chun, chun, and the slat is turning around like trying to like get them down, but they are both really good fighters. Manafort is floating up in the air and is shooting firebolts at this way. Is that stupid? Let me see. A slat, resistance to
Start.
fire.
That's it at the start of your turn.
Start of your turn.
He's
Yeah, he's shooting fireballs as a slide, like bring it down, bring it down again, and they're both like chung chung chung. It's not a great fight for them. These creatures are dangerous, and you just like, and you feel the weird soothing effect of the snow, kind of like the little snowflakes piling up in your face as this fight rages 20 feet above you in the bridge. What do you do?
Gonna cast Pass Without Trace and just sort of hobble away. into the...
So you can cast.
sections.
Do you have spell slots left for Pass
Yeah,
Without
I've
Trace?
got,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I've got, yeah.
So
And then
you go.
bonus action. I'm gonna hidden step. Thank you for reminding me. I keep forgetting.
So you're gonna hidden step.
Yeah, and after cast that and then hidden step. Yeah.
Okay. As you cast the spell, what is the components? I'm not saying you're out of the woods yet, because depending on the components, they will notice, because they're fighting there, and suddenly it's like, oh, bye bye.
Wild check. Send an invisible cat.
All three.
All three.
Yeah.
Okay. So you grab your arcane symbol, which I don't know, I can't remember what it is.
My
Your
druid staff.
Your druid staff, which is lying there. You kind of like roll a bit towards it. You grab it and you go. That is, and the shadows extend, and they're fighting. Manafrod, I'm gonna say, because he's looking down onto the slab because he's flying. Looks like, oh, the fucker is alive, and then you go. Ah, fucking hell, it's invisible! And you move away.
Hobble away 15 foot.
Yeah, you kind of like hold it away.
When do you return invisible? At the start of your next turn?
Let's start my next turn.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to like stealth, like try to hide somewhere. I'm gonna say that you can, with 15 feet, because you are right next to the bridge, you can move towards one of the towers, walls. So using the shadows there next turn will probably be your best bet. But Sidra and Yorn, Sidra and Yorn are busy with the slat, but Manifold saw you, and Manifold is kind of like flying 60 feet ahead of you, like 40 on top of the above you, 40 on top of the bridge. So it's now Manifold's turn, and he's gonna. There's one alive there. And he's gonna kind of like fly towards, fly a bit closer, but keeping the distance from the slat, kind of like seeing as kind of like a scout, a flying scout, trying to see where you went. They keep fighting the other guys, and you, Arian, where are you going?
I'm just running. I will go. I'm gonna probably run towards the explosions.
The explosions.
Yeah. So once I've escaped, then I'm gonna go around.
Okay, Arian, you reappear with Manfred apparently looking for you. What?
Genhorn.
Oh, sorry, Genhorn. You reappear. It's just the ending of the word is just similar.
Yeah.
You reappear with Manfred apparently looking for you. And what do you do?
I will turn into a panther. Actually, no, I'll turn into like what's like a white kind of version of a panther, like a snow leopard.
A snow leopard. Okay, yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like-
I'm gonna, snow leopard works.
But I assume it has the same kind of stats. We can,
Yeah, it's
and
fine.
then and then try and like sneak away, basically.
So it's action turn.
So 50 foot.
You move 50 foot, but you cannot stealth.
But I can get myself behind like a wall or something.
Yeah, okay. You can. You can like turn around the wall essentially,
Yeah.
kind of like leading Manfred. I'm gonna give you half cover. As you essentially you're like the classic spiraling attacks, and Manfred is gonna chase. Turn into a beast. Turn into lion, a white lion, and as the other guys are fighting, Manfred, which is fucking useless, will.
Into a white lion. It's a wizard.
Will shoot firebolts at you. He's not very powerful, this guy.
Maybe all it needs, like.
He will shoot a firebolt. So that's.
Presumably he's above level 5 at least.
Yeah.
So
It'd probably kill my panther form and kill me again.
So it's like 23 to hit.
Wow, yeah.
So
2d.
yes,
8?
2d
10?
10. 2d 10.
How much health does a panther have?
How much?
I'd say that.
I
I can make it up afterwards, you see. It's like,
10.
13 HP, I think.
Well, he had 13.
Yeah.
It's a 10 total. He's still a panda.
Yeah, you're still a panther. Okay, I got hit! I got hit! He's kind of like shouting for the benefit of his friends what's going on with the panther.
Probably really annoyed with him because he's not helping with this.
Yeah,
He's like, fucking hell, get him! We have a slab to deal with! And yeah, it is Sidra, then Yorn, then the slab turn. So back to Arion, which is out of the woods. So it's Genholm turn. This is now you against Manfred. This is what you're doing.
How close is there like any buildings?
So you're essentially using the wall as the tower. If you run
Oh yeah. Cancel that trace.
50
Oh, yeah.
foot is not enough. So yeah,
You got disadvantage on them because you've got combat.
It's not.
exhaustion.
I mean you can either use
Oh,
your
yeah,
action
sorry,
to
yeah.
try and stealth, which essentially,
That's fine.
if you try to stealth, if you try to use your action to hide, you can move 50 feet and then try to hide, which would be essentially confusing Manfred that is searching for you.
Did he do concentration checks for the 3 bites from the snakes?
He didn't.
He's actually dead.
Wait a minute.
So
Into the
each
ground.
would have been because you gave me the total.
Yeah,
But there
it
were
was
like
less
3
than-
different
It was
attacks.
less than, so it would be 10.
Okay, so he has con plus 0.
Right.
Right, so 7. So he lost it. So okay, wow.
He didn't dispel, so he would have fallen, but he didn't do anything after that. So that's
No,
fine.
he didn't do anything after that except shoot
Yeah,
firebolts.
yeah.
So, but he would have fell from 1, 3, 6, 7. 7 points, 7 dice worth of damage. He doesn't have a lot of hit points. I think. Wow, I think he's gone. 10. This falls, man.
It was like a delayed reaction.
He's on his car
19.
on the ground there.
Oh
My
yeah,
nose is
19. Okay, so this happens. We're gonna have to try back here. You go. "Ugh." You see Sidra and René are fighting, and next to you, the body of the halfling. The body of the halfling kind of also sprawl next to yours, while Yorn and Sidra are fighting the slat. You bonus action, hidden step, go away, and it is impossible for them to get to you without massive risk to themselves, even if they notice you. So you can probably turn into a leopard and flee away
Disappear into the. Yeah.
with your 1 hit point. Yeah, I had totally forgotten about that. So.
There's so much going on.
And that is now the end of initiative.
Well, Arian's now running towards some explosions or something.
Yeah, but we're not gonna do that with initiative.
You'll never punch those explosions.
So in the distance, a piece of stone. You arrive at the bowels of the earth, unless you are going to do something relevant to this. Tell me.
Well, the explosions.
Yeah.
Not relevant to the explosions, no.
Okay, you're going to hide or try to lay low, basically.
I'm going to try and do something, but it's not relevant to this, so we can come back to it.
Okay, cool. So you, Arion, after a while, as you're running there, the situation kind of stops.
Could I see a source as I was running? Like what's causing all this?
Well, no, because you see like the flashes up in the sky, because obviously the lines of buildings between. Imagine that if you look at the water deep.
Right, but I can't see that he's summoned like an army of whatever flying around.
Yeah,
fighting.
you were running from here, which is Collat Towers was.
Yeah.
Right, no, that was here, isn't it?
No,
No.
Collat Towers was here, and the Blacksmith Tower was, I think it was around there.
Yeah.
So you were running through lots of buildings, and also this is the base of Mount Waterdeep with the castle, so you couldn't see around it properly. You saw just flashes, and that's why. Well, the only thing that was very easy to see was the Griffon Riders kind of like diving down into it.
Right, but what I'm asking is Manchun has been summoned like evil Griffin Riders, and there's like a
No, there isn't a
It's like-
battle going on. There's just the flashes of magical prowess being thrown around. But you keep going, and as you keep going, you hear like people are out on the streets and looking at it. What's going on? What's going on? And some people are moving towards it. Some people are moving away from it. Some people are like securing themselves inside the house. It's Blackstaff Tower. It's the fucking False Grey. They're at it again. They're just gonna destroy the whole place. And you keep going, and eventually you reach the big area where Blackstaff Tower is, Egeron's Tower is, the old the stables, and it is total destruction. Apparently, half the tower has been blown open. But you see there, lying on the ground, apparently shackled with some kind of like weird sphere of energy, the figure of Manchun, flying, hovering 15 feet into the air, her silver hair extending and almost like dancing on its own with her white robes, Laeral Silverhand. And the Blackstar herself, Vashra, with the staff, still aiming at Mert. There are bodies of Blackstaff guards, the ones like there were two outside, just lying around dead. Whatever happens here, somehow, Manchun could not teleport away, you can imagine, from inside the tower, worked its way out, killing everything. And then there was a massive magical battle right outside the steps of the tower. The steps that Niall used to walk up and face the two gods. And you see there as well, heaving, apparently bloody, saber in hand, Mert. And a few other people you don't recognize. And they're all now surrounding the trapped body of Manchun. That is kind of like kneeling on the ground, staff, but with this weird yellow energy bubble kind of like shackling him in place.
Is there like a perimeter of people?
Yes, there is a perimeter. Well, there is a big perimeter of people. You see this from the distance, as City Watch and City Guard that have come down from the battlements are kind of like creating a perimeter. Don't approach for your own safety. And it is a loose perimeter. It's not. There's not like a barrier or anything. It's just that people are naturally not approaching because they're not idiots.
Yeah.
But the battle has finished maybe not only a minute ago, as far as you can tell.
Okay, I'm just gonna fight my way to the front of the
Mhm.
perimeter to the crowd, and just sit and wait and watch everything. Don't assume like that. I don't think of myself as one of them
Yeah,
over there.
sure.
I'm just here to help if I can.
Okay. Genhorn, you turn into a panther, and with your one hit point, you flew the scene where the two Manchun lieutenants were facing off a slant towards where?
I mean, I head back towards the yawning portal, assuming that people are kind of going there, but all they sort of died down, haven't they?
Yeah, they died down pretty much by the time you woke up.
Yeah.
When you were like, I was like, oh my god, I have an out. And then you turn, and it had already been dying out, and it's now like quiet. You see people on the streets. People are rattled, but you can tell that they're mostly running towards whatever they may think it's safe. People are running either towards the coast or towards the castle, or whatever happened here. Obviously, has everyone now on high alert.
Okay. I might actually just kind of double back a bit and go to Melinor's. To the druid.
Yeah, okay. To the gardens.
Yeah, to sort of hide up there. I don't know, go in and look around if anyone's awake or.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be easy for you to enter the gardens and then knock on the door. Actually, as you enter the gardens, some of the people that are normally there tending to the gardens are kind of on high alert based on what's going on. And as soon as they see the snow leopard they are all druids. They're all Emerald Enclave, so they figure. Who are you? One of them says, kind of like coming out from the bushes. Who are you?
I'll shift back out and.
Oh,
It's really getting on.
Genhor.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't look good.
No. Yeah.
Go inside, go inside.
We were fighting.
Something up at the Collar Towers and the Black Stuff.
Yeah, we were fighting at the Collar Towers. And Manchun was there, but I don't know where he went.
Okay, go inside.
Oh, so
I'll
Okay.
go inside.
You go inside. Elliot. Sorry, Silas.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll go into the bowels. Obviously not dressed as myself.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, it's probably locked, isn't it? It's really early in the morning.
It's it's like 2 a.m.
No, it was going to be later than that. It was like 4 probably, because we left at about 2 to go into.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It would be. Yeah. It's small hours, 4 or 5, whatever, kind of around that time. Unless there's something specific that.
No, but it'll be closed. I mean.
Yeah,
That's
it
fine.
is closed. It's not open.
I'll pick the lock.
You pick the lock.
Yeah, it's going to be 17.
17. Yeah.
I'll probably
Easy enough. I mean, you should have rolled with advantage. You know this lock. You didn't have a key. You always picked it.
In that case, not natural 20.
Yeah.
Oh.
You do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah, just get in, lock the door,
Mm-hmm.
go behind the bar, like slump down, and then get the box out of my bag and open that.
Okay.
Have a flick through that book that I got from the
Diary.
yeah.
Oh,
I
the
don't know what
diary.
it is. I thought it was. We used it as a journal. I thought it was a spell book, but now I think you've got a
I
spell
know
book.
that was one, yeah.
Well, whatever I said, it upset Lucas. So let's get that's it. Game's done.
Was you gonna come back in now dressed as Manchun?
He's got a trophy.
It's a series of notes.
Oh wow, actual props.
It's a series of notes. This one in his handwriting.
Do I have the wish spell to wish that Manchun had better handwriting?
I know.
Usually it's automatically.
As you. Sorry.
I'll read it out loud.
Sure.
The use of the stone to magically eliminate a memory or piece of knowledge from realms of. What's it?
I can give you a transcript.
Ikius.
Do you want a transcript?
Yeah. That's handwriting. What the fuck?
Is this his journal?
Yes, that's the journal.
Yeah, you sent it me on Discord.
I'm the worst person in the world. People should probably set me on fire.
Where are you?
I can't tell from reading the words correctly. It's like athletic artifact.
Yeah, I don't.
A smell to.
It's quite interesting though. It leads very nicely into the next thing I was going to do without unprompted, but now it's prompted.
What do you mean?
Well, I was going to do something based on things that happened in the past anyway, but now it makes even more sense having read this.
Try and restore your memory with this stone.
You don't know who I am, and neither do I.
I'm barely alive, so.
Alright, so that's
my concerns right
it appears to be essentially a report, Manchun report on the situation in the grand game, and on top of that information, you read. There's like a few notes, and it's all organized in a way that makes you think that Manchun has essentially there's a ledger. Apart from this, there's a ledger that provides a paper trail implicating Manchun in 2 blackmail schemes with what appear to be masked lords, as far as you can tell. And if, in fact, it names 2 masked lords directly by name, which is something that would be terrible if it came out. One is Corylus Than, from the Than winemakers, actually. Apparently a bit of a racist Walterdavian noble.
Oh.
and is paying the Sens not to reveal that he hired thugs to assault non-humans.
So the fucking the elves that have been being killed.
No. And then there is another one which is Jelen Armbrask, which is a Walter David noble, also receiving regular payments from the Zens to offset money he loses in bad investments.
What's his name? Sorry.
Jelen Armbrask. I can give you the names in Discord. And those two, they are not the only ones. They are apparently a paper trail.
Cornelius.
For more people, but there is a list. There's a slip of paper that has several names. One is Cornelius Than, Jelen Armbrush, Dorgar Artharbend, but this one doesn't have a tick next to it. Thardusk Starbuckler without a tick, and Mert without a tick. So posting that kind of like list with ticks and not ticks.
You boy Mert in the pocket of Manchun.
About so these are you realize based on your understanding that he uncovered this as masked lords, and he is trying to, either get dirt on them or manipulate them somehow or work in them for whatever reason.
Okay. Well, I'll read that and then I'll put it down and I'll get the stone in the other eye
Mm-hmm.
and then just sort of shake it like, come on, press the eye and like,
You press the eye.
then be like, give me it back, give me it back. I haven't read that.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, 22.
22. Suddenly a memory comes to you. Massive headache as you see yourself walking down sewers with a contingent of people. You hear voices around you. You can't quite make out what they're saying, but you're on this mission, this very important mission, this mission that will give you the way out that you need. This is important. This was a long time ago. You were younger and you were in danger, but you managed to carve yourself a place within a group that gave you leverage so you could negotiate your way out. You're doing something important. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter if there's nobles involved. You're gonna hide this. You're gonna do what you were hired to do, and then you're gonna forget all about it, and then the memory fades.
Whew. Then I'm gonna just fall asleep
Okay. Yeah, you have a massive headache.
behind the bar. Well, I'm
Okay.
gonna get a bottle from behind the bar and I'll
Sure.
drink that and then I'll fall.
So you go to your old attic, to the old.
No, just behind the bar. Just
behind the bar.
literally
Okay.
just like lying down
Yeah.
behind the bar.
Okay. So, quickly enough, they treat you for some of your wounds. As you debrief them, what is going to be your? I mean, Melano is there.
Well, just my kind of synopsis of.
Yeah, exactly. What do you want to tell them?
I'll go through that. We went to the tower to obviously try and get the
Mhm.
as part of the mission we're on, and went into Manchun's lair. He obviously fought us. We tried to get away. Now teleported somewhere with him. I went back to look for him. Found his book that I don't really know what it is. And there was a big construct and basically quite in detail of everything.
Okay, so everything you can tell.
Apart from that, I don't know. I'm not sure about depending who's there in terms of that about the eyes and the stones specifically because.
Okay, no, he would be with you alone.
Okay.
Okay, so they will treat you for your wounds mostly. You can like recover up to half your hit points.
Okay.
You're still knackered.
Yeah.
They set some bones, and and he will ask you to wait until you can have an audience with the lady. I can't remember the name.
You've got to do the permanent injury roll.
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh yes, very true. Actually,
Don't most of us need to do that 'cause the beard.
Oh yeah, you need a permanent injury roll. 2 permanent injury rolls probably.
No.
You took more than half your health twice, didn't you? The
Well,
thunder
the
wave?
remaining health. Yeah, but
Oh,
that's
yeah,
doesn't
not-
count.
Yeah.
um,
Right, I forget you went back at full before. Might be a mad thunder wave.
It's
That
not
means
Lady
Hal
of
Witham
Falcon
will
here,
need to
is
do an injury roll.
Not something.
Falcon's wrote loads of stuff. One of them just says yay. What an epic nat 20.
wow, that was. Yeah.
Flying is dangerous business.
Yeah, because if I just have like rolled a positive, I would have just been there for an hour, and that would have been a different story. But
Oh, he said read the transcript out loud, but it was very long and confusing.
put it on there.
I put it in Discord.
You can't read that in real life. You have to read it on Snack.
Here you go.
It mentioned something about a red gem and ivory strips, putting them inside a gem.
Tetrahedron.
There you go.
Use the stone to magically eliminate a memory or piece of knowledge from the realms of Abir Toro requires special casting of a legend lore rite, which requires 12 hours to perform. In addition, one must possess a second abrolithic artifact, small tetrahedron of red jade, which I'm sure is held by Lord Dagult in Neverwinter.
So roll what is this? So you roll a Constitution roll. So you add your Constitution and you 1d20 because it's just how bad your
Natural 20.
natural 20.
21.
Okay, so your was a cold injury because of the cold. So you just get anosmia.
What's that?
You lose your sense of smell and taste.
Oh.
You automatically fail any ability checks that involve your sense of smell and taste. And you imagine there are some like not crazy magic ways of healing this. And you 10 with 4 damage, which is bludgeoning. Ooh, this is gonna hurt, I guess. Major concussion. You have disadvantage on intelligence checks, wisdom checks, and charisma checks,
Oh wow. Okay.
as well as constitution saving throws to maintain concentration.
That's flat now.
Magical healing of quite a high level can fix this. Yeah, it's you are like concussed. And Melanie tells you to go see Lady. I will say the name in a second.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that as well. I couldn't see it.
I like a bit in this where
Jerith Falcon, because this is Falcon Mir,
Yeah.
and this and the lady is this demigod figure. So Melanie will tell you to rest and get better, and then see Chalkin. Arian,
Hello.
you see that the City Watch, after a bit, gets the situation under control. They start approaching. The Blackstaff quickly talks with what appears to be a captain of the watch, in the same way as the one that you had met in the dog world, the one that had like the half cape, and they start organizing healing and the City Watch taking to the temples a lot of people that are injured. There are quite a few mages that also make their way here that have put like the fires under control, and they are like with telekinesis. They're kind of like moving the stones, and they're starting like the cleanup effort and healing people effort, and like moving the bodies that are dead, so they can be carted away all the way to the city of the dead. As Lerol, Mert, and Vashra kind of like talk about it. Huddle in a circle around Manshun. Manshun is apparently conscious and trapped, kneeled in this like tiny sphere, so he cannot stand upright and snarling. And then Lerol traces some kind of sign, unless you're approaching at this point.
I'm
or-
gonna give it this. I want to try and get close enough that I can hear a little bit of what's going on. I also just want to have a look out for Albertin, because I know that last time he was around, he was with
Yep.
this guy.
So you are looking about, and you don't see now with him. You see some of these other figures that are apparently close. There's what appears to be some kind of fighter with a moustache that gets close to Lerol. He whispers something. She turns around and says, dismissive with her hand, and tells him something. The guy turns around, looks, and goes to find another set of warriors. They appear to be not wearing like city watch or attire and whatnot. And then she traces her hand and looks at the black staff and goes, and both her and Manshun in the weird thingy, they both disappear. Vashra kind of looks at Mert, and she looks sad and defeated and rattled, and she steps into the ruins of Blackstaff Tower. Mert looks around, kind of with a gesture of impatience. Shunk. Signals a couple of people that are there next to him, and they run away towards the stable apparently to fetch him a horse, you imagine, and he's now standing there waiting.
I guess I'm gonna try and stand out in the open, so I'm very clear to
Yep.
Matt. Think
Mert looks at you.
stood respectfully.
Ah, Arion!
I'll walk over.
Come here, boy. You know that even though you're technically older than him, he's always called you boy. Terrible night, but a victory. But you were involved with those people working with Vashra. How do you know anything about what happened?
I'm afraid we may be somewhat to blame for this. We infiltrated the tower this evening, or this morning, and we confronted Manshun, and
That was incredibly brave and foolhardy, reckless.
it was part of the mission.
Then well done. Manshun has been captured. I also hear reports that the force fields around Kolat Tower have fallen. The city guard is moving against them. He looks up and you see now Griffon riders that are kind of like circling the area around the Kolat Towers. Your friend, we're still trying to figure out what happened, but essentially the Blackstaff got two warnings. A warning that one of her teleportation coins have been used, a massive alarm about a magical intruder in the Blackstaff Sanctum. This place has a massive forbidden spell. You cannot teleport in and out unless you are the Blackstaff or you have one of her coins. That's what kept Manshun in. He had to shoot his way out. Of course, that meant that he killed many, many people until we got here. And apparently, the other warning she got was, the holder of the badge is gone. She keeps track of them with it. So whatever happened up there, I think your friend is gone. I'm terribly sorry, my boy. Can have like her shoulder, and the two people that he has sent away are bringing his horse. But you've done a great job today. Exactly the reason I put you up with them.
They will be sad to hear of this news.
Sure they will be, but this is high stakes game. I'm sure they knew what they were getting into. When you're dealing with this kind of powerful people, he'll be honored. I'll try to find out later with Vasher exactly what happened. We only know so far that Manshun essentially killed his way out of the tower until Vasher stopped him in his tracks here. Managed to keep him in without him being able to teleport, counterspell it, until, well, she probably wasn't on her own a match for him. But of course, she sent the warning, and then Laeral shows up, and well, you know, with Laeral involved, it's pretty much game over. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to the mansion now. Go get some rest. Send my best to my debtors in my investment. Sorry, don't mention it now. It's not necessary. And do let me know what your next move is. With Manshun out of the way, I feel like well, it was a big prize, so many dead, but it feels like we're finally getting to the bottom of this.
We have one less target.
What's your last target? Is it the beholder? Oh dear. That's gonna be a tough cookie. There is, you know, a pact, a non-violence agreement with the beholder. We let him be out there, down there. He does his thing. He doesn't allow crime to explode into chaos. It won't end like this, but it could end in all sorts of nasty ways as well. So do come to me with your plans. I may know a way into his lair without, with secrecy. There's a guy I need to find. I know a guy. And he kind of like jumps into the horse.
I'm going to help him up.
Thank you, boy. Snap opens one of the saddles and grabs a bottle of really good wine. Grabs a second one, gives it to you, and uncorks the one you grabbed. That one for you and your friends. You're gonna need a good toast tonight. See you around, boy. And rides away.
Just stand there for a moment, just in silence, as I have been, and then just start heading back towards the what do you call it? The bar.
The Uniportal.
Yes.
You go back to Uniportal. You are resting behind the bar, drinking wine, thinking about the stone, playing it within your fingers until you fall asleep. Or maybe just putting it back in the lead box. I don't know.
Having read I'll put it back in the lead box before I go to bed.
She enjoys it.
Having read that letter and having had some sort of connection with the stone before, can I see if that all sounds familiar? Like the red gem and the eyes and doing something with the what's it?
Make an Arcana check.
19.
You feel that it has something to do with the legend lore spell, and in particular with the essentially the capturing of knowledge in a, there's some kind of like mind magic at place, but it's all there is a part of it that it's all very alien to you, because you have no idea what they mean by aboleth and abolithic artifact, except for what Genhorn investigated, that you know now that the stone is
Yeah, they've seen this as now.
so, but you don't know how they work. It's like an alien knowledge. Oh yeah, it's an aboleth, but what does it
Yeah.
mean, right? That's the part that totally throws you off, that you wouldn't like understand really. So with those thoughts, you put your stone back in the lead box and go to sleep. As you make your way back to the portal and your rooms, I assume to sleep, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Food and then sleep.
Okay, so you're gonna get food.
I don't know. No, not
We only
food.
slept like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna rest in a room somewhere. In one
Yeah.
room.
Okay. And yeah, because you woke up from the long rest not a long time ago, and you are also resting in Falconmere, the Emerald Enclave Gardens. As you all think about what happened tonight, let's take a break here. It's like 6:20, and we'll see where we go after.
Yeah, that's true.